Hello, and welcome back to the Tea and Soju C-Drama podcast, your safe spot for C-Drama chatter. I'm your host, Liliana, and it's time to sit back, grab your tea, and let's chat Asian dramas. In today's episode, we will be reviewing Coroner's Diary, but just before we get into that, some housekeeping. If you like the podcast, please like, share, and subscribe on the platform you listen on. That really helps the podcast reach the listeners. For more content, check out Patreon, where you can find behind the scenes, first impressions, Zoom meetups, and more. Finally, if you'd like to chat to me or find a community, check out Discord, Instagram, and other socials. The link is in the episode notes. So, Caitlin is joining me for this one. This is a perfect drama for Caitlin to pop on over to Tea and Soju. But before we get into that, how have you been? What have you been watching?
Hi, hello. Thanks for having me again.
You're very
This we should have been recording this like 3 months ago. It's on me. It took me a long time to watch this.
Life
Unplanned. I did
happens.
not plan to take 3 months to watch this show.
Look, life happens.
Um,
Stuff happens.
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. It's warming up here in Chicago finally.
hmm
It's not like super hot, but it's like warmer than 9 degrees. So that's good. What am I watching? Currently, I'm binging Blossom to get that
Oh, I
off
love
my
that one.
watch
Yeah,
list.
yeah, yeah.
I'm a little annoyed that they are not together yet. It's like
It takes a while.
episode 15. I didn't think it would take that long.
It takes a
Like
while.
I knew it took a bit, but I didn't think it took as long as it's taking.
To be fair, I don't think
Um,
you're that far off. Look, I watched it as on air, so in 2024. It's been a hot minute. But I
yeah.
don't think you're that far off from when they get together.
I don't think I am either, but
No, I don't think you are.
yeah, it was a it's it I will I admit it's been a little annoying that they like will like be basically passing in the night where they like help each other and then they leave and they help each other
hmm
and then they
hmm
leave. But it's good. Like I can see why it was very popular. Um, I'm enjoying it. I'm also trying to finish up Culinary Wars. I have like 3 episodes left of it.
You're
Um,
close. You are close.
yeah. And then yeah, so I'm pretty much watching those right now to get them off my watch list. And then I go on hiatus for the podcast next week.
hmm
So then I'm just gonna clear off my watch list and see what I pick up. But I plan on just picking up a bunch of crime dramas.
Crime's having its minute right now. I feel like there's a
Yeah.
bunch of crime shows um
hmm
coming out and airing both in C Drama Land and K Drama Land, I think. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's quite exciting. I, on the other hand, feel like I'm just smack dab in K Drama Land right now because C Drama Land is quiet. And April and May picks up a little bit, but April tends to be a quieter month anyways. It was the same
hmm
last year, so it doesn't surprise me, but I'm just watching stuff like Perfect Crown and Princess Hours. That's,
Nice.
for reasons.
I need to start that.
Yes, you do. I thought because it's a longer one, I thought, why not? And I think now that I'm over the initial shock of how old this show is,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it a bit more than I was initially. Um, but we'll see, we'll see. But yeah, I feel like I am just in K drama land right now, so we'll see how it goes. There is two shows that I want to start this weekend that are both Chinese dramas. So hopefully they will you know, uh, pull me back onto watching some daily episodes rather than weekly, because I tell you what, coming back into K drama land with 2 episodes a week and J drama land, which is even worse with 1 episode a week from C drama land, my god, I
Mhm.
am
Right.
dying over here. So yeah, right, let's
Are
get
you
into this.
watching that are you watching the one with Jing Boran? Sunset Secrets?
No.
I want to
No,
watch
I
that one so bad. I'm trying
really
to
should
avoid
watch
spoilers
it. I've
so
not. The
hard.
thing is, I nothing's come up for me in terms of spoilers, which has been
Oh my
great.
God. All I've seen is the romance in it, and it looks great, but like it's a crime drama, but there's romance.
Mm,
I've been wanting, but this drama though has been on my radar for months because I love um Jing Junji. So like any
yes,
drama he's in, I will watch. So it's been on my radar, but I was not expecting it to air as soon as it did.
I do really need to like because this cast is all very much a veteran cast, so it's
Yeah,
probably going to be really good in that aspect. It's right now, it's only got an 8 on MDL so far, which is a bit shocking. But MDL, I mean, it's finished airing. It aired from April 3rd to April 12th because it's only 28 episodes. I
right.
do have it on my plan to watch list, but I feel like I need to be again in that very much in that mood for it. I don't like going
Right.
in if I'm not in the mood for something because otherwise I feel like I'm just going to walk away
Hmm.
annoyed and not probably enjoying it as much. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
I'm so
do.
excited because oh God, what is that one that aired a couple years ago? It was a crime drama on Yoku, and Yoku was showing it on YouTube up until like episode 20. And then they just stopped putting up the episodes. It was like the long shot or first shot or something like that.
Mm.
It stars the guy from Imperial Coroner and the guy from who plays all the cop shows. He's constantly doing cop shows because he doesn't know thinks he doesn't look good in anything else.
Don't
Um,
know.
I'm forgetting his name. Anyway, they're like partners. It's like a 90s police show. And it did very well when it was airing. So I was like, cool, I'm
Mm.
going to wait until all these episodes are out. And they never got uploaded like for 2 years. And then all of a sudden, Yoku this past week uploaded the rest of the episodes.
Is
So I'm like,
it
I need to do that.
the Embers? Could that be it?
No, it's literally like hold on, let me bring it up. I think it's the long shot. It stars the same guy
The
as the
first
Embers.
shot. Could that be
First
it? The
shot, yeah.
first shot?
First shot, yeah. Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, with Johnny Huang, Zhang
Yes.
Yu, and Wang
Yeah.
Ziqi. That could be
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
supposed to be really good.
That's
But yeah,
good.
so it if Yoku finally put up all the other episodes with
Mm-hmm.
subtitles after like 2 years of it just hanging
Yeah, because
there.
this is from 2024. Yeah, yeah, this is from 2024. But that's what they do, though. They start it on YouTube, so like you get hooked,
Yeah.
and then they don't,
Yeah.
they leave it so that it makes you
Yeah.
go to their app instead.
Right. Right. Yeah. They're doing the same thing with a crime show that did very well last year called The Sandstorm, which was
Mm.
very popular apparently. And they've done the same thing. They've released like 10 episodes and they haven't finished it. So I'm waiting for that one as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That's
yeah.
always what they'll do, isn't it? Um, but yeah, I think like I still have Yoku because I have it like on a yearly subscription, but I probably won't renew it because I don't use it as much as I think I would. So I'll
Mhm.
probably just knock it down and like just get it as and when I need it rather than having the yearly subscription. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Right, let's get into this. So, MDL description for Coroner's Diary is the story follows Shen Wan, the daughter of Shen Yi, a high ranking official of the Supreme Court, whose entire family is massacred after being implicated in the Prince of Jin case. Shen Wan escapes the Jiangsu by disguising herself as Qin Wan, the ninth lady of the Qin family, where she learns all about medicine and how to perform autopsies. She not only excels at healing the sick and saving lives, but is also skilled in being a professional coroner to investigate crimes. During her investigations, Qin Huan meets Yan Qi, the crown prince of King Rui. Okay. And that makes no sense. The crown prince. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that does make sense. Yang Qi is determined to clear the Prince of Jin's name, an ambition that aligns with Qin Wan's own mission to vindicate her father. The two return to the capital together, solving a series of strange and mysterious cases along the way. After returning, the discovery of a skeleton leads to the reopening of the Prince of Jin case. As they delve deeper, Yan Qi and Qin Wan gradually uncover the truth and ultimately expose a shocking secret buried deep within the palace. So I mean, that is what this show is all about.
Yep.
I think what it doesn't say is that there is actually way more romance in this than I thought there was going to be.
Yep.
I feel like the romance in this is very, very present, and it is like from the get-go, it's there. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah. So this was filmed from the 20th of April 2024 to the 5th of September 2024, and it aired from the 13th of July 2025 to the 27th of July 2025. It is 38 episodes of 40 minutes. It is an iQIYI drama, and it currently has an 8.6 on MDL and a 6.4 on Douban, which is actually quite good. Look, it is actually quite
Yeah.
good to
Yeah.
have that. Now, when I was putting this sheet together, this Google Doc together, I did not realize this, but there is a Coroner's Diary mini, like the Midnight Mystery series, which is basically a variety
Did not know
show.
that.
I didn't know this was the case.
I
And
didn't
basically,
either.
what it says, 6 cast members from the show Coroner's Diary are transported into the Republican era to solve a mystery. And it is basically so if you go on the on iQIYI, if you click, so if you're on MDL and you're on Coroner's Diary, the Midnight Mysteries page, and you click on iQIYI, it takes you to the Coroner's Diary, like the actual show. So you go past all the episodes and all the behind the scenes, and it's like there right at the end of the list. It's kind of like a couple
Oh.
of
Oh.
episodes there, and I did not know that was there. So I was like, I need to go and watch this because I always love
Same.
when they
Yeah.
do like little
Variety
variety
shows with the
shows.
cast. Yeah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. My
Yeah.
favorite is still the Cooning Palace cast
Mm.
because that was just freaking hilarious to watch. So yeah, definitely I did not know this, so I definitely want to check it out and see them do the variety show. But yeah,
Yeah. Same
so
here. I need to watch more
so
Chinese variety shows. I
me
I
too.
watch a lot of Korean.
I have been wanting to review The Truth on like
Yeah.
the podcast for ages.
I've been wanting to
Ages.
watch it for ages.
And the thing is, I can't find like nobody really wants to watch it with me.
I
So it's
will.
like there you go. We'll have to watch it. Like I'll put it on the docket for season 5 and then that'll force us to
Cool.
watch it.
Cool.
Because I've heard really, really good things about The Truth and it feels
Yeah.
like it's a slightly different variety show because they're like just going together and like solving mysteries. So
Right.
I've been wanting to watch it for ages, especially because like the not season 1, but in season 2 and then 3, you obviously have like Zhang Ling He and Lu Yuning and Dil Raba together. So it's like it's a really good mix of I think you also have Bai Yu in it, and I think it's like a really good mix of
Right.
actors and actresses. So Caitlin, I'm putting it on the docket for us to come and review this
Cool.
because it's the only
I
way
will
I'm
do it.
gonna watch more variety.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
As
really
long
is
as
the only
I
way.
know they have some seasons on YouTube, um, at least here. So it
Hmm.
depends. It depends where I can find it. But and if it has subs.
True,
But I'm
true.
so down to check out a season because I've been wanting to watch it forever.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it's on WeTV. Like all the seasons are on WeTV.
Mm.
So
I mean,
I
I
don't
could watch
know.
it on WeTV as well. It would just be on my phone, which is fine. But that's
Do
fine.
you not have the app over there? Oh, I guess
We
no,
have
there
the
is
app,
no
but
app.
it's not on my TV. I don't have the app for my
Um,
TV. for some
Okay.
reason. My TV does not have a WeTV app. I don't know why.
Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, mine has a WeTV app, but do you know what? A lot of the time, like I just hook my laptop to, because I get
Yeah,
annoyed with the apps, so I just hook my laptop to my TV and like do everything through the web browser because then I know I have access to every single thing that's on there. So that's
right,
like a lot of
right.
the time that's what I do. I still get big screen, but
Yeah, yeah,
with the ease of accessibility. Um,
yeah.
so yeah. So for this one, this is directed by Lee Y. Chu, and he's been directing since 2003. Now oh my goodness, he's directed things such Legend of Lu Zhen from 2013, The Princess Wei Young from 2016, which the drama trio have covered on the podcast. So make sure it was an interesting review, let's put it that way. It was a very interesting review. He also did Untouchable Lovers from 2018, which is really well known because a lot of very mainstream actors and actresses started with Untouchable Lovers. So that
Yep.
is but I've heard it's not a very good drama, which is
I've
a lot of
also
fun.
heard that same thing.
I've heard that it's not a great drama, but a lot of people started. I think it was one of Bailu's first
By
things. It
Luz.
might
Yeah.
be Zhao
It's Song Wei
Luxi's
Long, Bai Lu, Zhao Lushi. I
Zhao
think all of
Luxi.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, so yeah, and then we also have the Song of Glory from 2020. Now, I think like from that list, and I was going through his list, I think apart from the Princess Wei Young, I don't think I've really seen much else from this director. I tried, he also did Warm on a Cold Night, which I dropped.
Mhm.
So that's as far as I went. With that, I don't think I've seen anything else from him necessarily. What about you, Caitlin? Have you seen all
Um, yeah, other than Coroner's Diary and Princess Wei Young, that's all I've actually watched, but I
mm,
have some on like my plan to watch
plan
list,
to
like
watch?
Song of
Yeah.
Glory. He was a director for Princess Silver that I want to watch. I've heard is
Mm-hmm.
good. Um, but yeah, those are the only two that I've actually watched.
Mm, yeah. I actually do have Legend of Lu Zhen on my plan to watch because it's one of those older shows that I would love to watch. It's a long one. It's like 59 and it's from 2013. And it stars like Li Yitong and Chen Qiao and like so it's one that is not Li Yitong, Zhao Liying. God. So yeah, definitely one of those that I want to check out. Now, this also has a second director and he is no, it's a female director called Tang Yan, and she's also been directing since 2003, and it seems like she works a lot with this male director because she's directed things such as A Chinese Ghost Story from 2003, Legend of Lu Zhen from 2013, and Warm on a Cold Night from 2023. But she doesn't have as much as him, but going through her filmography, a lot of it is the same as the other director.
With
So
him.
they seem to
Yeah.
work um very much in tandem. I have not watched anything. Like I said, Warm on a Cold Night from 2023. I dropped it. So, you know, it is what it is. Now, when it comes to screenwriting, this screenwriter will be uh no shocker to anybody
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
she is a very, very famous screenwriter. Because she's done so she is called Zhu Yi, and if that name sounds familiar, she's been a screenwriter since 2010, and she's done beautiful things. So things such as Schemes of Beauty from 2010, The Rise of Phoenixes from 2018, Love Like the Galaxy from 2022, and the current hit of this year, Pursuit of Jade from 2026. So this is a very well established screenwriter. It is a screenwriter
Right.
that if I see her name, I sit up and pay attention because I really, really, really like her work. She's also done things as No Boundary from my goodness, when is this from? No Boundary from 2021. So she is one of those screenwriters that I actively pay attention to, especially after Pursuit of Jade. So yeah, what is your experience with this screenwriter, Caitlin?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much have watched everything that you said as well. Like, I'm currently
Hmm.
watching Pursuit of Jade. I have not finished it yet. But I mean, I have wanted to watch No Boundary. I have not watched it yet. But the first one I watched with her or with him, is it her? It's a her, right?
I think
Yeah, it's
it's
a
a
her.
her, but I have
Um,
not been able to find like the because sometimes on MDL, um,
they have
on
like a picture.
MDL, it doesn't have a picture and it doesn't have like pronouns or anything. Oh, female. It is a her. It is a her. Okay, I'll
Ah,
double
yes, I
checking,
see
but
that
it
now.
is a her. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing I watched of the screenwriter was Rise of the Phoenixes, which is
Mhm.
amazing. And then of course I've seen Love Like the Galaxy. We of course seen Coroner's Diary, and then as I said, I'm currently watching Pursuit of Jade. So really the only one that that you have seen that I have not seen is Mo Boundary.
Mm.
And I've seen everything
No
else.
Boundary. I think you would
I
actually
know I would love it.
enjoy No
You've been
Boundary.
telling me to watch this drama for years.
Yes, and the reason being because although it is Xianxia adjacent,
Hmm.
um, a lot of people will go in thinking about like more the romance side of it, but it's such a different setup to your regular Xianxia because she's a goddess that comes down to earth and he's a constable and they like investigate cases together. And that is like a mishmash of genres almost, but it worked. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. And I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but for me, it worked. Mind you, I watched this back in 2021 when it was airing, so it might be
Right.
that it's not as good as I remember, but when I
Hmm.
was watching it, I remember really, really, really enjoying it. So, because of that mix of like crime, not crime necessarily, but that mix of like investigating, I think it's
Right.
something that you would really, really enjoy. I have not watched The Rise of the Phoenixes, but I actually we haven't mentioned this to you yet, but I was gonna propose that because Jess was saying she wanted to rewatch it.
Right.
And Carol loves this one as well. So I was like, maybe we should get the
Yeah.
drama trio on Carol to come and, for much later on, like next year, maybe.
Right. Right.
Um, I would love to watch it because I haven't
I would
watched it and
rewatch
I
it. I
hear a
haven't I
lot of good
haven't
things.
watched it. I haven't watched it in at least 4 years.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah,
I
then
wouldn't
yeah.
mind rewatching it as well. When did I watch it? I'm pretty sure it's been like 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been, when did this come out? 2018. It was
2018. Yeah.
7 years ago. I
Oh,
was
there you
watching
go.
this 7 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah. I know because like it's one of those things. A lot of people say it's really, really good, but it's one of
Mhm.
those that a lot of people be like, it's 70 episodes long. I
Yeah.
am not
Yeah.
watching that. So it's one of those that it's like it's hard. Like, I don't want to review it by myself because it's really long
Right.
to just do it by myself. But it's also
Right.
really hard to convince people to watch a 70 episode show
Yeah.
to come and review it.
Yeah.
Like, rightfully so, because it's a long show. So yeah, that's why I was like, I need, because this came up in the Pursuit of Jade review. We were like,
Uh-huh.
oh, maybe we're seeing it here first. And they were like, great. And I was like, I think Caitlin has watched this one. Maybe we need to bring Caitlin in for this one as well. So yeah, because I've heard
Yeah.
really, really good things about the
It is
Rise of
good.
the
It's really
Phoenixes.
good.
So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and like I said, I love this writer, so I'm down for anything this writer kind of does. Now, as for cast, we have, as a female lead, we have Lee Landy or Landy Lee. I don't understand why they changed her name. So apparently, her English name is Landy Lee. Her Chinese name is Lee Landy. Like, there is really not that much difference. So they might as
Right.
well just stuck with either way. So she's been acting since 2011, and she's done things such as Tea Love from 2015, Dreaming Back to Qing Dynasty from 2019, The Starry Love from 2023, which I reviewed with Jess. It's a two-parter. That's, that we had a lot to talk about. So if you want to scroll back on the feed, it is there. And then she was also in Filter from 2025 with Tan Jianqi, which I actually enjoyed. Not as much as a lot of people, but it's a good one. I like
Hmm.
this actress. I think she, has been at it for a little while and she's done
Hmm.
various things. Um,
She was a
I think
child actor.
she is,
Yeah.
because she was really young when she started. I think my
Yeah.
problem with her a lot of the time is not necessarily her, it's her shows. She's one of those
Mm.
for me where I like her, I just don't necessarily like her shows, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Right.
But I really like her acting, and I think she's been diving into various different things
Right.
and roles. So I have been enjoying her. What's your take on this actress?
I like her as well. We also watched her in Adoring this year. She was in that
We
movie as
did,
well.
we did.
Hmm. Which you can check out on, oh my God, what is the podcast name?
Curtis's podcast. Oh,
Yeah,
that's gonna
Curtis
be
is.
embarrassing. I will
Hold
look it
on.
up while
Let
you
me look.
talk about her. Infatuation, yeah.
Infatuation, infatuation. That's what it was.
Infatuation. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Infatuation. Anyway, we did a movie on that. She was in there. Yeah, I mean, I've known this actress since 2015.
Hmm.
She had a supporting role in a very classic fantasy wuxia, I want to say. It's called the Wuxing the Monster Killer. It has like 3 seasons. That was my first introduction to her. She had
Hmm.
like a support role. It stars Elvis Hahn and Gina Jin.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Um,
I've seen it. Yeah.
yeah, really, really. I mean, I liked it. I don't know if everybody will. Anyway, so that was my first introduction to her, and of
Hmm.
course, she's been around the block and has been in everything. So actually, this is really the Coroner's Diary is the only second drama I've ever watched her in, even though a bunch
Yeah,
of her dramas I want to watch. Um, it's just like, for example, Love and Nirvana. I haven't checked it out yet. She's in that. You dropped
she
that one.
is.
I don't
I did
think,
drop that one.
yeah. Filter, I don't think that's a show for me. I didn't even bother
No,
watching it.
no, 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 no.
Um, yeah, so that's my uh history with her is like this is the only second drama I've ever watched her in.
Yeah. Now, as for our male lead, we have our Ru Peng, and he's been acting since 2019, so he's not been very present as of yet. So
Mhm.
and I don't think he's really broken in. He's not necessarily a well-known name, although people
Yeah.
know about him. Like, he's not very much a well-known name, but he's been in
Hmm.
things such as Poison Love from 2020. The Blood of Youth is probably what he's most well known for from 2022. Wrong Carriage, Right Groom from 2023, and Moonlight Mystique from 2025. Now, I have watched and reviewed Moonlight Mystique. It is so his co-star is Bai Lu in that one. It's a Xianxia. I go back and listen to that review if you want to hear my full thoughts on it. I actually really like him. I do. And I think I liked him even more in Coroner's Diary because there's a specific scene, which I will talk about in the spoiler section, where you got to see him do more emotion. Because when I think of our Rupeng, I actually think of more comedic roles more than anything.
Same.
I don't
Same.
think he's
Hmm.
done a lot of serious toned roles, which is a shame because he's actually quite good at them. He's fairly good at like showing emotion.
Yeah.
So I think he just needs to branch out a little bit more into that. But I like him as an actor, and I think he did really well in this show. And like I said, he was able to show more emotion in those scenes later on. So yeah, what's your experience with this actor?
Um, this is my first show I've ever watched him in.
Mm?
Granted, I've have a lot on of his that I like want to watch. Like for example,
Yeah.
Blood of Youth. I've been wanting to watch that forever. Um, I'm really excited for a couple of his shows that are coming up, like
Yes.
My Queen, My Rules.
Yeah,
I'm
which is with
so
the
excited for
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. It's with the actress from this show,
Mhm.
not the
And
female
then
lead, but yeah,
the second female lead, yeah.
yeah.
And then Now or Never, I'm also very excited for. It's coming up. But yeah, I this is my first show I've ever seen him in. I kind of had that same thing of like I will be honest, I was kind of worried of watching this show because I also only knew him from his comedic roles. So I
Hmm.
couldn't really picture him playing this type of role. Like it did
Yeah,
have comedy in it, but it wasn't as comedic as some of the other stuff I've seen him do.
yeah.
Um, but I think he pulled it off very well. I was like, I was impressed. I think
Hmm.
I went in with expectation of like, I probably might not like him because of the things I've seen him, like the clips of him I've seen him do before. But I was
Yeah.
quite impressed by him in this one for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So that second female lead that he will be doing a drama with is Shen Yu-ji. Now she is fairly new because she's only been acting since 2022, but she's been in things such as Checkmate from 2022, Only for Love from 2023, which I have reviewed on the podcast. It was with Carol. We had a lot of fun picking at this drama, not gonna lie. And then she was also in Hard to Find from 2024. Like I said, she's not been in a lot, but she is one that when she's on screen, she does kind of grab my attention.
Yeah,
Which is also, it's always very interesting. So I like her. I'm very excited to see
I do
what
too.
comes for her next. So what do you think about her?
I actually have watched Checkmate. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I dropped Checkmate, not
I
because
think
of
I dropped
her,
it too. Yeah, I dropped
because
it too.
it was like season quote unquote season two of My Roommate as a Detective, and it does not
Yes.
compare at all.
Yeah,
I
no,
did
not at
like
all.
her character in that show though. She was not the problem. It was the other female character in that show,
Hmm.
along with other things. So I did see that one. I've seen Hard to Find, which was pretty good in my opinion. It was one of those like shorter dramas, like 20-minute episode type situations.
Yeah.
Um and yeah, I'm excited for some of her dramas, as I said, coming up, like Shadow Punisher and My Queen, My Rules. So, but I think she's very good. I can see her being big in the next 4 or 5 years for sure, especially if My Queen, My Rules does
Mm,
well.
I agree. I agree. So as for the what we would call the second male lead, he's credited both him and Shen Yu-ji are actually credited as main roles as well, but you'd almost consider him as a second male lead, I suppose. With no love triangle, there's like, because this is obviously not a romance necessarily, but there's no love triangles in this, thank goodness. So
Hmm.
he is Yu Cheng An, and he's been acting since 2019. He's done things such as Go Go Squid from 2019, Love Like the Galaxy from 2022, and City of Romance as well from 2025, which I haven't watched, but I've heard kind of good things about. I actually quite like this male lead. He was also in Love in the Clouds as the antagonist to the second male lead, and he was a bit annoying in there. In that, I will say, I feel like this actor isn't quite there when it comes to fully showing emotion and fully immersing himself in the character, so to speak.
Right.
Um, I feel like he's still learning. Um,
Hmm.
but then again, he's doing support roles, so he's doing all the right things to gear himself up for those bigger roles later on. So I guess he's working at it.
Right.
Um, which is why I always say support roles are quite important because it allows you to
Yeah.
kind of, navigate a bit better. So I think he will get better at it. But I just don't think he's quite there yet, especially with his role in, for example, Love in the Clouds. I just don't think he carried the emotional depth needed for the role. Um, so yeah, but we will see. We will see. What's your experience with him, Caitlin?
I've watched a lot of his stuff actually. Like I watched
Mm-hmm.
Go Go Squid.
Oh, me too.
That was my first introduction to him.
Shocked you watched
Um,
Go Go Squid and
I
finished
know,
it. I'm
I know,
shocked.
I know. I don't know how I did it, honestly. um, well, mainly I watched it because of the male lead. I love the actor who plays the
Li
male
Xian,
lead.
yeah, I
So
really, really
yeah,
like Li Xian,
so
yeah.
um,
Have you seen, on
yeah,
another note, this is a complete side tangent, but I'm just going to take it anyways. Have you seen the promo for his drama with Li Yitong, his Republican era?
yes, yes. I'm
I'm
so
dying for
excited.
that drama. I think that combo is going to be so
Yeah,
good. And
yeah,
like I said, I say this, this might be the year that this sentence becomes very untrue because I keep saying I'm not a Republican era drama, but the Republican era dramas are coming for me. Like there's
yeah.
Overdue, there's the one with Chang Lei, now there's this one with
Hmm.
Li Xian and Li Yitong. Like, come on. I'm just over here being like, this is not my genre normally, but apparently I'm gonna be a Republican era girly soon because they're all
Yeah,
coming for me. Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I'm very excited for that one. Yeah,
So excited. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
especially because Lee Tong is one of those characters, at least from the promos. You don't know if is a good person or not. Like she might be
Yes.
like sort of an antagonist, which is
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
great, which is awesome.
I love great
Yeah,
characters,
same.
especially when the female lead gets to play one. So I'm
Yeah,
quite excited about that one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I've seen Go Go Squid. Of course, I've seen Love Like the Galaxy. I was irritated with his character in Love Like the Galaxy
Yeah, me
eventually.
too. Yeah, yeah, me too.
um, and then I have a couple of his on my plan to watch list. Like I really want to watch The Heart. I have not seen The Heart. Um,
I somebody was talking about the heart on Discord the other day, and they said it's one of their favorite medical dramas. And
mhm.
it's a drama that has done really, really well on Douban, I believe. But yeah, it's been on, like, medical dramas don't tend to be my jam, but I've heard so many good damn things about this show that I keep thinking maybe I should just check it out
Yeah.
and
It's also
see.
getting a season two.
Oh, is it? I did not know
Yeah. I
that was
think
the
season two is
case.
supposed to come out this year at some point.
Oh.
But yeah, I've also heard I mean, I also love the two male leads that star in it, so that's another thing. But anyway, he's a support role in that. I want to see that. And then of course I have Love in the Clouds on my plan to watch list. I have
Mhm.
not watched it.
Mhm.
Um, and then also Treasure at Dawn, which is a it's like a mystery historical that stars Lee Hung Yi, who that came out like late last year, like
Mhm.
November,
Mhm.
December last
Mhm.
year. He is a second male lead in that I want to watch. I've heard is decent. It's decent.
Yes,
So
yes. Yeah,
yeah.
the Heart has an 8.4 on Douban, which is really,
Mm,
really good.
hmm.
So yeah, I do keep thinking I need to check that one out eventually, but again, it's one of those that I really need to be in the right mood for because it
Right.
is, medical, so I just need
Yeah.
to be in the right mood for it. So
Yeah.
that is, there's lots more, but that is sort of the core main cast for this show. Um, so general non-spoilers. I'm gonna let you take the lead. What did you think about this drama without spoilering anything, Caitlin?
I liked it a lot. I rated this 9 out of 10, so it's high up there for me. I
Hmm.
loved, I mean, this genre is like my bread and butter. So like historical crime, I knew I would like it. It's not that surprising, especially when you have a female coroner in it. That's also something that I tend to gravitate towards.
Hmm.
Um, I loved that there was great chemistry. I love that, as you said, there was no like triangle, like love triangle, like everybody had their own pairing, their own partner type
Hmm.
situation. Um, I do think some of the mystery or the cases were better than others. It just depended on the case. And then I also thought, because this is what? This is 40 episodes? What did you say? 40 or 38? 38
Uh,
episodes?
38.
38 yeah. I did think some of the cases went too long. So like normally I guess in this format you would have like 3 episodes, maybe four a case. Some of the cases in this were like 5, 6 episodes, and I was
Yeah.
just like, can we get it over with?
Yeah.
So I did think some of the cases lasted a little too long because they just fluffed them out a little bit. Um and I did want some different endings with some of the villains, but overall I thought this was a great drama. I was hooked.
Mhm.
It was great to watch the progression of both of the relationships, that the main relationships you saw in this.
Yeah, I agree. I think like one of the things that I didn't think I was gonna, say was one of my favorite things was the romance and the relationships. But actually, that ended up being one of my favorite things of the show is that the relationship progression was really, really good. They became friends and then they became lovers. And there's always a mutual respect between all the characters that I really, really appreciated as well. Um, so I loved that. I think the cases were interesting, although, like you, I also think they were drawn out a little bit too long. I feel like
Yeah,
overall the show could have cut down a couple of episodes, like maybe, I don't know,
yeah,
32. It doesn't need that much taken off, but maybe like 32 or even 34 as opposed to 38. I just don't think
right.
it needed that many episodes, which is surprising because in a show like this, you do have scope to have a high episode count, depending on
Mhm.
how many cases you really realistically want to get through. Um,
Right,
but overall, I enjoyed this one. I really liked the female lead because, like you said, it was something that I had really not seen before, a female coroner. So that was interesting to watch. And I liked that she was the more kind of drawn in character, and the male
right.
lead was the more like bubbly, outspoken character. He respects her tremendously and like sees how capable she is, which is something that I really enjoyed. I love the fact that there's no triangle, love triangle, or anything like that, so we can just get on with the story itself. But even
Mhm.
like the secondary romance was really well done and well developed too. So yeah,
Right,
overall, I enjoyed this one. I think it's a good, solid drama, especially if you like
right.
this type of storytelling. Um,
Exactly.
yeah. So let's rate this and then we can get into spoilers. So, ratings. One teacup, it was something I watched. It wasn't good, but something made me finish, and that's a 1 to a 5.5 on MDL. Two teacups, the okay ones. Dramas I don't really recommend, but they were an okay background watch, and that's a 6 to a 7 on MDL. Three teacups, the enjoyable ones, good dramas. They were enjoyable, and I would recommend to people who enjoy this genre. And that's a 7.5 to an 8 on MDL. Four teacups, the loved ones. These are dramas that I really loved. There might be a couple of problems with it, but overall, a really enjoyable drama that I would recommend to a wider audience. And that's an 8.5 to a 9.5 on MDL. And then Five Teacups, the Rose Glass No Faults dramas. This rating is reserved for those dramas that you really love so much that you are willing to ignore any problems they may have. And that's your 10 on MDL. So for me, this is like bang smack a 3.5. So I
Mm,
scored it an well, technically it's a 4 teacup because I scored it an 8.5 on MDL. And but yeah, I'm just gonna get 4 teacups. There you go. It's like a 3.5 for me, realistically
mhm.
speaking. Because there was like, I don't know, the pacing did seem a little bit off in some places, and yeah, like I said, I loved the characters, but some of the cases did drag on. And when that starts to happen, I'm just like rolling my eyes and like, we come on, get to it up here, you know. So
Right,
I think
right.
that kind of downgraded it for me a bit. What about you,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Caitlin?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I gave this a 9 out of 10, so I'm also smack dab in the middle of 4
Yeah,
for basically the same reasons you said. Yeah, like some of them, the cases dragged on. Like, I was so surprised when the first case was 6 episodes, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
was not expecting that.
Hmm,
And
hmm.
didn't need to be. Like, you definitely could have cut some stuff out and it'd be like 4. So that was definitely a big reason why I only gave it a 9. I
Yeah.
mean, 9 is still high, but like, I probably would have given this higher if it wasn't as drawn out.
Hmm.
Because this is, if you like a coroner historical mystery, this is definitely one you should check out. Um, yeah, I definitely agree with your reasoning. I pretty much that's the same reasonings I had too.
Yeah. Right, so we are going to get into spoilers now. So if you haven't watched this drama and you don't want to get spoiled, then please pause the episode now and go and watch it and then come back to listen to the rest of our thoughts. If you don't mind spoilers or if you have already watched it, then go ahead and listen on. But this is your spoiler warning. So let's get into this. So, episode 1 really does set you up on the female lead story, I think. It
Mm,
opens up with a bang because
yeah, oh
basically
yeah,
her whole family gets killed, and she basically takes up her cousin's identity to kind of like seek revenge and get away from it all. So I feel like
right.
episode 1 very quickly establishes her story and what she's there to do and where she's going to go. So I actually really, really liked that aspect of it. It's a
Hmm.
great hooking first episode, I think, because of
Yeah,
that story and her setup. We get straight into it. And I like when a drama does that. Like, there's not really a lot of faffing about. And I think when you're in this type of show, you don't want to be faffing about for however
right,
many episodes.
right.
You really do want to get into the story. So what were your thoughts on like that opening and how it got set up?
Yeah, I mean I agree totally. I did not think it would open the way it did because it definitely just was like, let's kill everybody in the first five
Mm-hmm.
seconds. But I also think episode 1 did well in terms of introducing pretty much everybody. Like
Yes.
I loved how they introduced the second female lead with her like
Mm-hmm.
jumping on top of the roof of the carriage and everything like that. Um, I loved the Landy Lee and Ao Peng's first meeting in episode
Mm-hmm.
1. Like, because first off, you could tell their chemistry was like up the wazoo in that first scene where it was the one where he was fighting with his cousin and he went to hit her and missed and like almost hit Landy Lee's character
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
drew back and they like got really close. I was like, oh, this is going to be good chemistry.
Yeah.
Um, and then even um like introducing Landy Lee as like this character who was very smart in terms of medical, like saving the old woman on the street and everything. I
Mm-hmm.
think it did a very good job on introducing the strengths of the characters, minus the second male lead because he wasn't in the first episode. But I agree. I think they did set that up very well.
Yeah, they set up the characters themselves really well very quickly. The female lead is like established as a smart, very capable female lead and in specific areas. And then the male
Yeah.
lead is kind of like shown his entrance is like on a horse and he's protecting this peddler that's being like bullied by a soldier. So, you very quickly know that he's very much a fair person and that he uses his power or his position in life for the greater good, let's put it that way, which you wouldn't necessarily, I mean, unless it's a red flag character, then,
Right.
that's not what we're looking at here. All of these characters are very, fairly straightforward green characters, I would say. Um,
Right.
so yeah, let's talk about characters themselves. With the male lead, I'm going to start with him because the man is smitten right off the
From the
bat. Like
get-go.
right
Yeah,
off the bat
absolutely.
from the get-go, he's very smitten by her. And not necessarily like just, her looks, although Landy Lee is stunning, but that's not what gravitate. Like it's her intellectual and her
Hmm.
intelligence. And I think that's what captures him pretty much straight away. And you know what kind of character he's going to be because like episode 3, that's when you really really see the man is hooked, because he
Yeah.
gives her some deer skin gloves which are like waterproof for her to do autopsies because she doesn't have any. So he goes out of his way to get these things for her, and he also gets her like acupuncture needles, and it's like it's really
Yeah.
really thoughtful gifts. And this is only episode 3 and he's like already very much um you know giving all of these things. And there's a line that
Yeah.
says, um, so because his aunt is quite someone of power in the area that they're staying, and he sort of says, "Oh, at first I thought you approached my aunt for your own benefit, but now she's sick again, and you've saved her again." Because she kind of comes in and saves his aunt, so that's kind of like how it solidifies their relationship, and like how they make their own acquaintances between the two of them. So it goes to show from the very get-go that he's a very thoughtful person and a
Yeah.
very caring person, and I really liked that about him, that although
Hmm.
he has this sort of battle that he wants to fight, because there's this specific case that aligns with her that he wants to solve, he's not been, I don't know, ruined by the world. He's still very kind and very, which normally is what the female lead is like. I feel like they have a
Right.
little bit of role
Right.
reversal here. So, what did you think about him and, the his character in general?
Yeah, no, I loved him too. I mean, even in episode 2, there was a scene where he would, I think it was wiping sweat off of her face when she was doing her
Mm,
first autopsy. And the fact that like everybody else was like, either the running joke was all the coroners or all the officials would run out of the room and throw up in barrels, and then he was the only one that could stick around long enough to help her out with this.
hmm.
Um, but like he was not disgusted whatsoever. He had it was it was the opposite, where he was like impressed with just like what she was
Yeah.
doing. Um, so even in like episode 2, when she was like, he was like wiping her brow, and then as you said, like giving her tools in the next episode, and then like episode 4 or 5, it was like setting up her entire table what before she got there. Like it was not only like he cared, but he was also observant, like
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
what she might need, maybe a comment that she had said offhand and then he remembered it 2 days later, something like that. Which I thought was, as you said, like it was definitely a gender reversal than what you would normally think a male lead would be. um
Yeah.
so I definitely liked his character
he's
for that.
he's very much, his love language is acts of service. That's his love
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
He looks out for what she needs, and he kind of almost predicts what she needs before she needs it.
Hmm.
So I really liked how these initial episodes set up their working relationship and how they were going to go through, because you have this character who is technically like a prince. He's very much a man with a lot of power, and he's humbling him, well, not humbling himself, but he's just like at the beck and call of her when she's doing autopsies, and he's just like standing in the sidelines taking notes for her and everything. So I really
Right.
liked how they did that working relationship, how they set it up. I just think it worked beautifully well. Um, between them. I do have like a little note for episode 4, and I'm gonna read it exactly as I wrote it. Because now knowing that this is the same screenwriter as Love Like the Galaxy, I wrote the female lead being lost in the crowd at the Lantern Festival and the male lead going crazy looking for her, then her having a lantern structure almost fall on her and him pushing her out of the way and him getting hurt and her treating him. It's like Love Like the Galaxy lantern structure, but less romantic. That's what I pitched down.
Right.
It
Yeah,
almost felt like a callback to the Love Like the Galaxy scene where
absolutely.
she does get hit. Your cat is going mad, and I'm here for
I don't know what happened. She like got scared. I don't know what went wrong.
it. Is it
I don't know.
really an episode? Look,
She
is
has
it
zoomies
really
or
an
something.
episode? Is it really an episode if your cat isn't,
Doing
showing
something
her
in the background.
presence? Yeah,
I know.
I love this for us. So yeah, I felt like it was like almost a callback to the Love Like the
Yeah,
Galaxy scene.
absolutely.
And I love when they throw, because it might not be at all, but it feels like an Easter egg to me. I love those types of things
Hmm.
when that happens. Um,
I
so
think
so yeah.
also because that scene is so iconic nowadays. Like I was just watching one of the IGE drama trailers and I can't remember what drama it was, but it was literally like a lantern thing falling down and exploding. And I'm like,
Yeah.
love like the galaxy.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
that's where your
it
mind
was
goes to,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But that's the sign of such an incredibly good drama that
yeah,
you
yeah.
see these scenes, these iconic scenes, and you watch it in any other show, and your mind goes, that show. It's like it's
Right.
iconic. It becomes an iconic scene for that show, and I love that. But yeah, yeah, that one I just had to talk about.
Hmm.
Let's talk about a little bit about the female lead, and then we can sort of go through the cases and talk about some other characters. Now, for me, I love the fact that right out the bat, she is shown to be somebody who is very resilient. She's very
Hmm.
capable. She's very smart. And, it takes a lot for somebody to see their whole family being killed and annihilated and
Yeah.
then get up and be like, I've got work to do, which is kind of what she does. And I love
Right.
that for her. I loved her gradual growth throughout the drama and, her coming out of her shell and opening up to the male lead. I love that aspect of it. But I just love that she's really not that strong. She's not in terms of like fighting
Hmm.
prowess. She leaves that to the other people. But I love how intelligent she is. She fights with her brains, and I love that about her. And she sees things that other people don't. Do you know what this kind of reminds me of? Like a Sherlock and Watson type of
Yeah, absolutely.
relationship where
Hmm.
she's the Sherlock and he's Watson, but he doesn't have the medical skills she does. Do you know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
That's
right.
kind of like what it feels to me. So yeah, what did you think about her?
I also liked her a lot. I think like she's one of those like she's more reserved, but she's not
Hmm.
cold. Like if
No.
she's comfortable with you, if she knows you, if she cares about you, she will be this warm, loving person. Um, but because of this tragedy that happened in her past, she is closed off until she trusts you.
Hmm.
So, and normally, as we've said, that's usually the male lead. That's usually
Yeah.
like opposite. So, I mean, from episode one, she even would have conversations with her servant of like, her servant would be like, "Oh no, you like this guy." Like you
Hmm.
like this guy. And she's like, absolutely not. I don't trust him. Blah 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 blah. And like he like definitely was smitten since episode one, their first meeting. It took a bit, but it wasn't as long as she thought it was, right?
Hmm.
So like you as an audience saw that she also liked him, but she didn't allow herself to acknowledge that she liked him until much later.
Much later. Yeah, yeah.
Whereas he was like, I like you from day one, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make you comfortable and to support you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. And it works. It works because she slowly
right.
puts her walls down. And I think it's probably because he hasn't necessarily been as beaten by the world as she has. So I
Mhm.
think that's why, it takes her a little bit longer to kind of warm up to people. But once she does let those people in. And, it's beautiful, beautiful to see.
Right.
What did you think about the secondary couple? So Yu Ning and Yan Li, or Princess Yong Ning and Yan Li.
Yeah. I love the fact that they were kind of in the same boat, like
Mm,
with the dynamic between them. Because normally with the second male lead or the second couple, a lot of times it's the opposite, where like if the first lead, so the first couple was like the female lead is smitten immediately and the male lead isn't, it's usually the other way around with the second lead. But in this
mm-hmm.
case, the male lead again is like very, very, very smitten at like right away or like forever because they've known each other for a very long time. And the female lead's like, oh no, he's at brothels all the time. He's a womanizer. I hate him.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then they, they I love how they like got to know each other, which is basically they got drunk together.
Yeah.
And then it
I
kind of
think
just went from there.
Yeah, I
Um,
think they were a bit more like comedic relief. Like their relationship build up
yeah,
was a
yeah.
little bit
Him
more.
him especially. Him
He
especially.
was absolutely
Yeah.
comedic relief, like the brothel and the drinking and whatnot. And she was right there with
Yeah.
him as well, which I thought was a lot of fun to see the female lead, not the female lead, like her character as a female doing what the men were doing as well. I kind of, especially because she's a princess, which makes it,
Right.
even funnier, I think. Um, but I really liked the dynamic between the four of them. I think it was something that was a lot of fun to kind of watch on screen. Yeah, and even like when we come to like the third couple, 'cause there's like a third couple in this, for a show that is not supposed to
Yeah.
be a romance show, there's a lot of
Yes.
couples
Yeah.
going on
I
because
love the
obviously,
third couple too. Like I
yes,
loved them because again, they were kind of just thrown together because they were the servant and the bodyguard. Well, not really the bodyguard, but like they were both basically the servants of the main couple. So they were
hmm,
always together anyway. So it was
yeah,
like couple by proximity. But then
yeah.
at the end it's like, "Oh no, we have gone the farthest in our relationship."
Yeah,
Like versus the
I
others.
will say, for all of these, since we're talking about it, for all of these couples, I put something here that was something that bugged me a bit. Was for
Mhm.
episode 33, I put down the editing felt a bit strange because all of a sudden we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
three couples getting married, and I have no idea how we got here. And
Right. Right.
that
I had
was
that same feeling too.
yeah, that was one of
Yeah.
my problems. That I really, really was like, I am not sure how he got here. And for a show that feels like a lot of the episodes, a lot of the cases are drawn out. We could have cut down on the cases and maybe, picked at this a bit more if you were going to lean a little bit into the romance. Because I was like, wait, they're all getting married? How? What? When? Like,
Mhm.
I don't understand how we got here. And I don't necessarily like that. I would have just rather not
Yeah.
had the weddings.
Yeah. Well, I
If
also
we were
didn't
just gonna
like
throw them
this
together.
is like this is a spoiler, but like the
We're in the
second male
spoiler
lead,
section. You can go ahead and spoil.
one of the things that I didn't, I agree. I thought that pacing at the end was weird because we love a good healing scene, right? We love
Hmm,
a good,
hmm.
like, people are vastly injured and they might die situation. Why did we not get the healing scene in the second couple at the last
Don't
episode?
know.
They just like completely skipped over it, which I wanted. I wanted so
Yeah,
much.
I
Um,
agree.
yeah. So, on a fun fact, the original novel of this had a reincarnation rebirth
Oh, that's
thing.
interesting. I will say, just before you get onto that point, the original novel actually has a really, really good name. Because so this is actually, I didn't mention this earlier, but it's based on the web novel, The Powerful and Favored Coroner Imperial Concubine. I love that
Hmm.
title. I did not
Hmm.
know that this had that storyline in the novel.
I didn't either until like I think it was like halfway through the drama,
Mm,
but yeah, they took the whole reincarnate. I don't know. I'm assuming it was the female lead who was reincarnated or rebirthed or whatever.
hmm
Um, but yeah, apparently there was supposed to be a reincarnation rebirth part of this story.
I'm guessing reincarnation stories tend to be a bit, with censorship, tend to be a little bit harder to
Yeah,
get past.
yeah,
But I'm guessing that what would have happened was instead of her taking over the identity, she would have just been reincarnated as her cousin and then gone
yeah,
on the path for revenge. I'm guessing that would have been, if that is the case, that would have been the plausible storyline to go through. Um
yeah.
Let's
And
talk about
apparently this was 4 years in the making too, this drama.
really?
Yeah, because
That's a
they
long
so
time.
from the little research that I've done, the people who wanted to make this also did Kuning Palace. And so they decided they wanted to
Uh,
do Kuning Palace first.
First, yeah.
And because they did not think this was going to be very good. And
Mm-hmm,
then they were
mm-hmm.
all surprised when like investors updated, like wanted to put more money into it when it started doing well and it hitting the 10,000 index or whatever, whatever. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so
I do love
yeah,
Cooning Palace. Like I will say, if it was a
I
choice,
need to
I'm glad
watch
because
that. But
yeah, yeah. I love Cooning. I loved Cooning Palace more than this. Now, Cooning Palace is one of those stories where she kind of does step into a different character situation,
mhm,
but I
yeah.
love that show. But that's because it's by Lou, it's Zangling Her, and it's Zangling Her so unhinged that I'm like,
Hmm.
I love this. But I'm the type of
Yeah.
person who adores seeing unhinged characters and red flags on my screen, because I just think they tend to lean to, to give you really, really good, juicy roles to kind of watch on screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I love
Yeah.
Cooning Palace. I mean, I reviewed it on the
Yeah.
podcast.
I
It's
need to watch
definitely
it.
one of
But
those.
yeah.
You do.
But yeah,
It's really, really good.
apparently the people who made it just basically were like, we want to make both of these, but we think Cooning Palace is going to do better, so we'll make that first. But this
It
apparently it
makes
took
sense.
4 years to do. So
Yeah, it makes
yeah.
sense. So I put some notes down on the cases, just like a very brief summary for the cases. So the
Hmm.
first one is beheaded bride. The emperor ordered the marriage to force an alliance, and the bride was murdered. Gold heist and sold trade corruption. The emperor used this case to entrap the Qin family in a scandal. This was one of my favorite, not my favorite, one of my least favorite cases. I will say
Yeah.
right off the bat. Um, Sexual assaults in the capital. This case highlights the darker side of the city and potentially involves powerful individuals. The skin flayer, that was a really interesting case.
It was.
A
Yeah.
gruesome case involving mutilation and potential cannibalism, which was really, really interesting because you're dealing with something that in China, I mean, anywhere in the world, this would be a lot frowned upon, but in China and Asian culture where your body is so incredibly precious because it's given to you by your
Hmm.
parents, this is like such a disgusting case. But I this was one of my favorite cases. Um
Yeah. Same.
Qin family's dark secrets, the massacre of the Shen family and their connection to the Prince of Jin case. This is when they start to bring in that Prince of Jin case that is like the running case throughout the whole show. Doctors organ harvesting. a case that could be linked to the royal family. And then finally, we have the Prince of Jin case, the central mystery that Yan Qi and Qin Wan are trying to solve, which is reopened after discovery of a skeleton. Now, for me, like I said, the skin flare was one of the most interesting cases because it's not something that you often see in terms of like Asian culture in Asian dramas, I don't think,
Right.
because it's
Right.
like such a disrespectful thing to do.
Hmm.
So that to me was one of the, my favorite. I also quite liked the sexual assault cases. I That sounds ridiculous when I say it like that. I quite liked the sexual, but that is not.
Right.
I mean, as a case, it was a very, very interesting case. I will
Hmm.
say the gold heist situation was just, I was just so over it. I think it ran a little bit too long as a
Yeah.
case.
The
But
only
yeah,
thing
what
I found funny with that case though is like it really showed how horrible her like cousin's family was. Like the family that she
well,
like went
mm-hmm,
into. Because
mm-hmm.
like we knew in the first case her family was horrible because they were just horrible characters. They just kept
Yeah.
finding dead bodies left and right in that case all the time. And I was just like, God, these people have like when you're talking skeletons in the closet, they have like skeletons in the closet hiding another closet with skeletons. Like it
Mm-hmm.
was just like ridiculous how many bodies are in that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um so I thought that was good in terms of like revealing just how horrible
Yeah.
her family was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I will agree. I did not particularly like that case. Again because it ran a little too long as well. I agree.
What
I
was
did
some
think
of your
they
favorites?
I thought they did with the beheaded bride, even though it ran too long. I thought they opened it very well because it was
Mm-hmm.
at the end of episode one. And like it was a really well written twist at the end because you didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't know, whenever I click play on these, I never think the first case is going to start in episode one,
Yeah,
you
but yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Because usually episode one is like building everything up and like giving context and everything like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I thought that opened up really well. Um, I also like the sexual assault one, as you said, the skin flake. Yeah, I basically liked everything that you liked.
And it's funny because those are the cases that aren't necessarily linked to the main storyline, but then the
Yeah,
ones that
yeah,
are linked to the main storyline, in my opinion, are the ones that are a little bit draggier and the ones that I
yeah,
just wasn't as gravitated towards.
yeah.
So that is
I think
interesting.
that's the part of it is like they used it like yes, it was connected to whoever was the big bad, but there were so many characters involved in that and like nobody was a good person. I was just like everybody's just a bad guy between her family and like the royal family. There's no good
Yeah.
people at
Yeah.
all. Like how
I
do these
will
families survive at this point?
I will say for the beheaded bride as well, I really, really loved the scene where she, after they've found out who's the killer, she kind of puts her head and restores her body again. And
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that what I wrote was it's a beautiful scene in a weird kind of way.
I
Um,
agree. I agree.
so I really, really liked that. Although you were talking, you touched on things that I didn't see coming, and we're jumping all over the place, but that's fine, Um, I did not see them pulling a Emperor is a twin and switched at
Yeah.
birth situation.
So I did so I saw that coming. But
Mm-hmm.
I, or no, I think I didn't see that coming. I saw the other part of that, like the reveal of the guy with the person in the ice closet, um, being the big bad, like the guy
Oh,
who had, yeah, the other bad guy who like
mm-hmm.
came out and wanted to kill the twin, at the very end.
Yeah,
Him being the leader of that secret organization thing, I saw that coming from a mile away because he was
yeah,
very
yeah, yeah,
sketchy from the get-go.
yeah.
But yeah, I do agree. I mean, I kind of saw the twin thing, but I don't think I like, if I remember correctly, I didn't see the full extent of it and how far it would go. So I was also quite surprised with that because it's you always enjoy these types of things where it's like if you watch so many of these crime dramas, there's only so many twists and like twists and stuff you can see coming. So it's always
Yeah,
nice to find something that you can't
you
think of.
don't. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, As for like one of the things that I have like really, really stands out in my notes that I really wanted to touch upon because I touched in the non-spoiler and I said I would explain. It's episode 32 and it's the male lead finding the box of things from his father and realizing that his father was always by his side. And like the female lead knows that he kind of needs a moment, so she leaves and it's the shot of Arupeng like in the fetal position crying. And
Yeah,
I am like, that is when I was like, damn, he can really pull into that emotion. And I'm so glad that the show gave us that shot and that scene to allow us to see that there is a lot more to him than the comedy side.
yeah,
So yeah, that scene to me was one of my favorites in the show because, it was shot beautifully, but also it was something that really got us to see, the other side of Arupeng and his character because he's also very petty in this show. So petty as a
yes, he
character.
is so petty.
Because like
Yeah.
in episode 12, his cousin suggests to marry the female lead so that she can be, you know, she can come into the family and kind of they can protect her. And the male lead is just like, no, just adopt her. Just adopt her and then it's fine because he doesn't want obviously him to, be
Right,
in that position. So I love that. I do love that. Yeah, he's
right.
so petty throughout the whole show. So
Yeah,
petty.
yeah.
um I have two notes that I want to touch upon from one is from episode 13 and one is from episode 15. In episode 13, I wrote down, I love how much our male lead respects our female lead. Like on their way to the capital, she finds and they're traveling separately and she finds like a small village. A murder happens and the male lead turns up and he's like half frozen to death.
Uh-huh.
Constables come, like they're investigating the murder and they're being utter crap at this investigation. And she tells them that. She's like, you are
Yeah,
crap at your jobs. And they don't take her seriously. And then he shows up and he's like, why didn't you use my token? Because he gave her his token. Now, he's obviously a person of power, he's a prince, so his token carries
yeah.
a lot of respect. And she's just like, I honestly just forgot that I had it. And
Okay, right.
she brings out this token thinking, oh God, what's so special about this? And like everybody gets down on their knees, like immediately as soon as they see his token of who he
Yeah,
is. And he's just like, it's a privilege for you to learn from Miss Chin. You should call her Master Wan. And I just
right,
loved
right.
that scene. I think it's a scene that very quickly shows that power is more important than like how competent you are at something. Like
Yeah,
power
yeah.
will garner your respect way quicker than showing your abilities
Right,
does. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
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 I also loved the confession scene in episode 15.
That's what I yeah,
Because
that was my next one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I liked because like episode 15 was a big episode between like the whole saving and like the underground river that they all got pulled into and like all this
Yes.
stuff. Um, and like the ice palace that they were trapped in and whatever.
Hmm.
So like between her finding him in the snow 2 episodes before to like her almost dying two episodes later,
Yeah.
led to a great well, first off, we were in like the ice palace and she obviously was like frozen to death. So he was like, let me wrap you in this really big cloak and,
Yeah, and
and
heat you
warm you
back
up.
up. Yeah.
Um,
Um,
but yeah, I thought that confession scene was really nice.
yeah, so what he says, because I did write that down. So he's like hugging her and trying to keep her warm because they've basically gone into this river and they kind of got swept, and this river kind of leans into an underground situation, like ice palace that is full of ice, and they are trapped. They can't seem to get out. She's frozen half to death, and he's just kind of like trying to keep her warm, and they're having this like big conversation between them. And she kind of like, I can't remember if she passes out or not, but I think she's kind of like in and out of consciousness a little bit. Um,
Right.
but he says to her, you know what I'm saying? In this life, I only want you. Once I've said it, I won't take it back. And then like he then goes on to say that he knows she's actually Shen Wan, so he knows who she truly is, and he wants to help her clear her father's name, and she's about to accept his feelings, and then somebody walks in and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
come on,
Yeah.
come on. This poor man has literally just bled his heart
Yeah.
out, and you're
And
not
that's
even
also
letting.
like a running joke
Yes,
from this episode to the end where they keep getting interrupted to
they
the point where like
absolutely.
he gets angry and is like starts hitting people.
I was getting angry. I was like, just
Yeah.
leave them alone for 5 seconds. Why are you interrupting them again? Like, once or twice is okay. But once you're interrupting them every other scene, give us a minute. Give us a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually wrote down his entire confession because I just thought it was very
go
good.
for it.
Um, I feel joy when I'm with you. I want to be with you every day. Even examining corpses together would be a pleasure. When you're sad, my heart aches. I don't want you to suffer even the slightest pain. Before rushing here, all I could think about was seeing you and protecting you. Just now, when I saw you lying there lifeless, it was the first time in my life I truly understood what fear means. If we can make it out of here today in this life, I wish to grow old with you because there's only one of you in this world, whether you're Shenwan or Kinwan. You are the one and only irreplaceable person in this world. If I miss you, I'll regret it for the rest of my life.
Ugh. I
Yeah.
mean, come on. If that isn't a
Yeah.
love confession, I don't know what is. Like,
Right. And then they walk in right after
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, come on. Seriously, this man has literally poured his whole entire heart out, and you
Yeah.
guys decide to interrupt right now. I mean, she was already
Exactly.
half frozen to death anyways. You might as well give her some room to finish off.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I loved how the fact like he before this confession, he knew for quite a while she was the other
Mm-hmm.
person.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't reveal that. He like baited his time, like not in like a malicious or weird way. He was
No,
just
no, no,
like,
no.
I'm gonna support her because I like her and she needs her
Yeah.
revenge. I need my revenge. I like working with her. So I loved how he was just around all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think also it's because if he had, I don't think it would have landed if he had told her earlier on,
Yeah.
simply because she needed to fully trust him to kind of like
Yeah.
allow somebody else to know her secret. And I think by the time he does tell her, she's ready to hear. Like they've worked together and they've kind of got that mutual respect and understanding of each other. So yeah. I
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I have any more. Have you got any more notes that
So,
you
okay.
want to mention?
Um, First off, I her family was I kind of felt bad eventually for the daughter that was vying for the prince that eventually ended up
Mm-hmm.
dying.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because she got what she wanted. She married into the family, whatever, whatever, but the prince ended up dying and then she was just stuck. So I didn't think I would like her character because at the beginning her character was I could see her character becoming like the malicious second female lead who just wanted to destroy her
Yeah.
sister that came back. Um, but eventually she like got the husband she wanted. Obviously things happened where he ended up dying, but she like was devoted to this guy and
Mm-hmm.
just got him out of the palace and like tried to save him and then like put herself up as basically a pawn slash obstacle that they would basically have to kill her in order to get to the prince thing, which I was not expecting. I thought she would
Hmm.
just be this evil, malicious character that we would just hate by the end. Because in the beginning, that was what she was, along with her mother and her other sister. And it's the same thing with the other sister. I liked the other sister eventually because she actually liked the female lead and
Yeah.
wanted to be her friend. So like it was kind of like a tragedy with all of these people's endings,
Yeah, yeah,
including
yeah.
the prince that got killed by his brother because you also didn't really like that prince at the beginning either. And then
No.
he just ended up dying because of this crazy emperor that just wanted to kill everybody. Um, so I kind of liked that twist because again, it went against the grain of what you would normally see in these types of dramas where or
Hmm.
any historical drama. It's not even just like mystery historical dramas. Like you kind of at the beginning thought these characters were going to go a single way because that is the trope that happens in a lot of these political palace dramas and then they didn't. Same with the Emperor. I liked the Emperor in the beginning. He was funny and it was kind of reminding me of the Love Like the Galaxy Emperor in a way.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um and then he just went full bad and full crazy and just was
Crazy,
killing
yeah.
everybody left and right. There was a lot of dead bodies in this show, like more than
So
you
many.
like
I
think
mean,
is going to
would you
be.
expect anything else from a show that's called Coroner's Diary?
True, true. Yeah, yeah. Um I also loved, like, even though you go into the show not thinking it's going to be a romance show, the romantic scenes they give you are on par with some of the other romance shows, like Pursuit of
Hmm.
Jade and things like that. For example, there was that one where they went to like the island and had like the whole cherry blossoms and
Yes. Yeah.
just spent like a like not the entire night on this island but like they had a little date on this island and it was
Hmm.
beautifully
Hmm.
shot and everything. um Same with the second couple, like yeah, most of their time was in this one brothel that he frequented, but like when he went missing and you thought he was dead after like episode like the second case or something because there was that like somebody died in a brothel. So the princess was
Hmm.
like running around trying to figure out if it was him. And then she was like so scared. And he was attacked, but he like didn't end up
Was
dying.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Um that scene of like coming together again and him realizing like, oh crap, she actually was scared for my life. Like those types of scenes were really nice. Um
I agree.
yeah. Yeah, I thought the relationship building of it all was really good. Um, I will say though, one of the things I did not like was I felt like some of the bad people did not get the endings I wanted them to get.
Mm.
Um, and some people that got the endings that they got, I didn't think they deserved those endings, like the prince that ended
Yeah,
up
yeah,
being
yeah.
killed by his brother. And it also made me laugh that like it was refreshing, but also the amount of people that either which again this is like a trope when it comes to the male lead, but like the amount of people that either wanted to get with the male lead, like that princess that came in for the hunting party and
Oh,
just
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so I loved that they were like they kind of turned that on his head and he was like, I want nothing to do this with this woman. And then she
Nobody,
goes
yeah.
and like attacks the female lead out of nowhere and almost kills her. But then the amount of people that wanted to kill the female lead, granted, obviously she's a coroner, so they obviously wanted to do it due to her not discovering stuff, but she was attacked left and right all the time in
Constantly.
this show,
Constantly.
which you get a lot of good saving scenes, of course. it's, yeah, it's
True.
constant saving scenes in this for sure. Um, but yeah, yeah, I I liked the fact that it wasn't the typical in the end when the second male lead was the one that really was attacked and was almost dying versus the male lead.
Hmm.
I liked how this show kind of still did the tropes, but didn't do it to what you expect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They sprinkled enough difference that makes the show kind of stand apart from other shows, I would say.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And then once the female lead coroner like shows her skills too, she gained a lot of respect
Mhm.
in terms of like again, the running joke of the officials and the coroners running out of the room to throw up, but they were like, "No, we actually think you're a good coroner." Like
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think overall, like I said, this is a good drama, good solid drama overall. My
Hmm.
quibbles are with the pacing of the cases more than
Yeah,
anything else, and
definitely.
I don't know if that's how it is in the novel and they just chose to adapt it like that, or if it was done differently or whatever it may be. But yeah, I still think it's a good solid drama.
Yeah, I think it's definitely solid. I think it's also good in terms of like it is dark. You do see stuff. It's not like it's like all romance and you do have cases like the first case opens up with like a decapitated body in a carriage. And it's
True.
not like you like zoom in on like the neck and like see everything, but like it's decapitated. So
Yes, yes.
it's not like it's still a crime drama, but I think this is also a good one where if you want to try out something, you do have a hefty romance part, which is a good balance with the darkness of what is going
Mhm.
on in the story overall.
I agree. I absolutely. This is very beginner friendly.
Yeah,
In
definitely.
terms of this genre, it's very beginner friendly, I would
Yeah.
say.
I think it's
Yeah.
also beginner friendly in terms of palace politics too.
Oh,
Because
yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a bunch of characters and yes, there's palace politics going on, but it's not overwhelming with like just a bunch of characters going at each other for 30
Hmm.
episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I think that is everything from me. Have you got anything else? Any final thoughts you'd like to tack on, Caitlin?
No, I think that's everything for me as well.
I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining me in this episode. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I have a podcast, so anywhere you listen to podcast episodes. I have a blog that I still maintain, so you can Google that as well. Basically anywhere.
I will make sure to link all of those in the episode description, so check it out. And that is it. This has been another episode of the Tea and Soju podcast, and we shall catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.